Hi guys, in this video today we're gonna have a look at how to load a car, not only recharge but load a car before a long trip. So just to give you some background, this is something I'm doing every year. I'm from France originally, so I drive to France at least once a year, and I just take a lot of stuff back to Ireland, as you know. And so I've done that trip for a very long time. So I would like to show you what you should do in general, in particular with an EV, and in particular if you have Model 3. Let's go. All right, so just as a reminder, this is Model 3 Standard Range Plus. So every year I'm doing this trip. It's not the length of the trip that matters, it's just what you put in the car and how you should put it and what you should be careful with. So first thing is the payload. Payload on electric vehicles is usually lower than on a petrol diesel car. So you have to be really careful with that. So with the Model 3, you can check there's a sticker there in the door that says the combined weight of occupants and cargo should never exceed 400 kilos. And so 400 kilos is actually very, very low. And if you are not sure what you can do with your EV, you can also look at the tax book. So basically you've got the total weight of the car, maximum load weight, and the empty weight. So you just make some math, the difference between those two. And actually in this car, it is 374 kilos, not even 400. And 374 is not much. It's just like 4 adults, really. So so you have to be careful really with what sort of weight you can put in your EV. Second thing, so this is more specific to the Tesla maybe, but there are actually limits in what you can do within the car. So the Tesla Model 3 has a front boot here, and the maximum weight to load is 25 kilos. So be careful what you put in there, because 25 kilos is not too much. When you go on the back, you've got, I cannot show you now because the car is fully loaded, but it has kind of a well below the floor. And so in that well, it's actually quite big. You can put 130 kilo, which seems to be fine. But above that that lower shelf, there's like kind of shelf there, you can only load 60 kilos. So, and again, 60 kilos is not much. So you have to be careful with that. Now, what I do in general, so with all sort of cars that I've had, electric or non-electric, and what you should do anyway is put the load at the bottom of the car. So I've got everything that's heavy, so that would be mostly the wine. I put it as low as possible. So let me show you. So what I do is I put there. So I'm traveling alone today, so no passenger in the back. And the good thing is this is just where the rear passengers would be. So you put that there where the feet would be. And I've got, I think, about 8 boxes next to each other. So it's about 40 bottles of wine, and it's really as low as you can get. And I'm doing the exact same on the front. So I'm putting some wine there where the passenger feet would be. So that's the first thing in general. Put the weight as low as you can and put the lighter stuff higher. Also try to put it evenly between the front and the back, and behind the overhang here, try not to put too much stuff. So as much stuff between the wheels. So that's a general advice. And then I've got another thing I would like to give you an advice on is the cooler box. So if you have a cooler box, I travel with this all the time. It's not a cooler box, it's actually a mini fridge that runs on 220 or 12 volt. I'll show you what I have. So it's a Dometic fridge. So I really recommend this brand. They're really good, and they can really keep your stuff cold even in summer, and even on 12 volt. So this takes 12 volt or 220. So what you want with those stuff is to have the vent here not blocked by any other boxes or things that you might have. So in this case, we've got about 10 centimeters, so it's fine. The air can go up and down. And the other thing, you want to have this cable not too far from the outlet, from the 12-volt outlet. In the Model 3, there is only one that is within the center console. So thankfully with this fridge, the cable is long enough to get there, but you want to have something not too far from your outlet. And then last thing, you want something accessible when you open the car. Of course, you don't want to have it in the middle of your car if you have to remove so much stuff before accessing it. So in this case, I'm taking the ferry and I'm bringing it with me in the ferry, and I'm plug it on 220 in the cabin, so that's very handy. So just keep it close to a door. All right. So that's what I have. The last thing I wanted to show you is where you put your cables. Don't forget to put your cables in a place that you can reach them kind of easily. So I've got my type 2 here, and I've got my granny cable here. You never know, you don't want to put and to bury them down below if you need them during your trip. So don't forget about your charging cable. Putting them in the front boot, that could be a good idea as well. So as you can see, the car is quite loaded. If you're doing long distance trips, very often with a lot of stuff inside, so pay attention to the payload of your car. That's one thing before buying. Also, this is a saloon car, and it's not very easy to load. The Nissan Leaf was better. The i3 is actually a small car, but it's very practical to load, even if the capacity was lower. What I recommend you is to look at Bjorn Newland's channel, and he's doing something called banana box tests. And it's the banana boxes are kind of big and bulky, so he's trying to fit as many banana boxes as he can in all those EVs that are on the market. He's tested like literally, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 different ones, and it's kind of a mix of volume and practicality, because if the car has the volume but is not super practical, like this, because of the shape of the boot, it's not a hatchback, then it's not as good at the end of the day. So have a look at that channel. I really recommend that. It's quite good and funny as well. Anyway, so I hope you like this video. Give us a like, please share, and thank you for watching.